Cat and the Canary is an American film that was released in 1927. This is based off of a play with the same name. It debuted in 1922. Now, the thing about this, the plot is pretty self-explanatory. I mean, people go to a mansion for an inheritance and then find out that the cat is among them. And of course, then chaos ensues. I mean, it's like Agatha Christie, the typical uh whodunit kind of a thing, but in a comedic sort of way. That was a twist for me, was that it was more comedic than anything else. Now this was during a time when expressionism was big. Of course, you had the German expressionism, and this was a product of German expressionism. But of course, with that comedic twist, the director, Paul Lenny, was able to take the uh, stage production and change it around and blend expressionism with humor. That's what he was known for. And it turns out that it worked. It worked very well. I found myself thoroughly enjoying this. Of course, I am a big fan of Agatha Christie. And I mean, I've seen others, The Haunted House, and which is a German film. It was very well done. And I think that was Haunted Castle, actually. But so yeah, I mean, expressionism was big during this time. And so to bring another one in, how are you going to change that? Well, Cat and the Canary did. And it turns out that this was a box office hit. Um, Now, this has been made several times. In the 30s and 40s, they remade this. And I mean, I really don't have anything terrible to say about this particular movie. It has the horror twist to it, it has humor in it. For a story that we've seen over and over again at this point in 2025, where people go to a mansion or a castle, and that, like I said, the Agatha Christie type. Like I'm a big fan of um, Murder by Death or Clue, and we've seen this scenario over and over and over again. And this is one of the early productions of that. Uh, I I thoroughly enjoyed it. To see the earlier uh, idea of it was enjoyable, absolutely enjoyable. Now, another thing that I want to say is this was put out by Universal. So this was before those horror movies were put out. So this was the starting point of seeing those like Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein and some of those others. So um, this, like it says here, the film was one of Universal's early horror productions, and it considered the cornerstone of Universal's school of horror. And you see that because again, with the Douglas Fairbanks Robin Hood, that was the starting point. You see elements of that Robin Hood and other Robin Hoods. And same thing with this one. You start to recognize elements from this movie in other horror movies. So I really wanted to point that out. But anyway, this is Cat and the Canary. It's an American film. It was released in 1927.